What is your art hot take?
My hot take is...
My hot take is that...
My art hot take would be...
Hi guys, my name is Siracusa. Welcome back to the Aeolus podcast. I have some very special guests with me today. I have Dr. T, my advisor, Arwen, my editor-in-chief, and Sarah, the executive producer of this podcast and managing editor of Aeolus. Guys, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yay! This is going to be a very fun episode. I love all of these people, so I am in for a treat today. So I'm going to start off with Dr. T, big man in the house.
Okay.
In your opinion, this might be a hot one to start off on, but in your opinion, how do you balance creative expression with responsible journalism? Because you work with Aeolus, but you're also in Motion, which is the student newspaper. Shout out, go check it out. So yeah, how do you balance those two things?
So you mean in terms of conceiving of it or just in application?
I'd say probably in application, how to do it responsibly, but also, because I feel like art, some of it is about like pushing boundaries. Mm-hmm. How do you do that respectfully, especially considering it's a college newspaper?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, we always have to think about not just the student body, but also the administration as well. So whatever we think will pass with the administration, I think is a good barometer for how we sort of judge what we accept and what we find acceptable for the magazine. Yeah,
because I know like sometimes with news stories, like we had a Charlie Kirk news story that someone left a comment about. I feel like sometimes that's kind of, especially when it's political, hard to balance, kind of that expression of even if it's not a creative expression, but just bias. It's kind of a fine line to teeter. How do you go about handling that as an advisor, overseeing that?
Well, I think that when people respond in a way that might bring some sort of negative energy, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that people are thinking, right? And so if you can get people to think without going beyond or going too far over the line, right? So violence, inciting violence is going too far over the line. But just to get somebody to think or respond in a way to get you to think more deeply about the way that you're running things, I think is, it's a very, very good thing. Yeah,
it's kind of what college is about.
Exactly, growth, right?
Yeah, right. So since you are advisor for both In Motion and Aeolus, you're kind of in the writing and creative space, which seems like maybe a little bit to juggle. But how are you able to get those students to want to write, to want to create, and want to be a part of Aeolus and In Motion?
Well, I think what I do is I try to find people who intuitively have that spirit. And so the work for me is very easy. So they already want to do it, and it's just finding them and getting them to a path where they can sort of self-direct and do it on their own.
So what do you look for in those students?
I look for enthusiasm. I look for talent, natural talent. And in some ways, I'm starting to look more for experience. So if students have done things in the past, and I know they're capable of doing those things now, to me, it's an easy decision to make.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. So you are also on, I think, 2 boards. You have the one for the student publication for Florida, and then isn't there another one also? Vice president?
Vice president of the faculty senate, yeah.
Yeah, so how do you juggle all of that, plus your classes you're doing, plus the magazine and In Motion? It kind of seems like a lot for one person. How did you find your kind of like way to deal with all of that and still get everything done? So
it's a matter of just picking and choosing your battles, right? So just like we all do, we have to find where we're needed the most at that time and then go and do it, right? And then sometimes things might have to suffer, but you have to get back to it. And hopefully people like the stuff that you're doing. And if you feel like you're not doing that, then maybe I take a step back and I say, well, maybe I can't do this thing anymore, so I can focus on these other things.
Yeah, and I'm sure student leaders are also important, kind of taking some of that work, because I know, Arwen, you kind of like help out a lot with Aeolus, obviously, because you're editor-in-chief, so I'm sure that kind of finding good student leaders.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. 100%.
And you also have Tilapia, your assistant. I'm sure like maybe some of that bridges the gap, but I will say I am very impressed that you're able to like do all of that. Like that stresses me out just to like think about. So kudos to you. My last question, T told me that you drink sparkling water every morning. Do you think it like cleanses your soul, or like what's up with that? Like,
I just like it better than regular water. So
do you?
I do.
Why?
I do.
It tastes
it's
weird.
like it's an acquired taste. So
That means it's a bad taste.
no.
Kinda.
No. And then they actually drink it a lot in Europe as well too. I've discovered,
Yeah.
water with gas, they call it in Germany. So
Gas?
it's like what water with gas or something like that.
That does not sound good at all.
Well, it is good, but it is something that you start doing it. I'm sure you have something like that, right? So
No,
no,
not really.
no.
That's why I asked. 'Cause
It's not okay.
I mean, that's like our Dr. Pepper.
yeah, I guess. But in the
True,
morning,
yeah.
like what time in the morning are we talking? Like
Like
first thing?
9:00 in the morning. Yeah, water. It's like 9 in the
Sprite.
morning. No,
Have a Sprite, it
never
probably
too early
tastes
for
better.
regular water. And then sometimes it's got a little sweetener in it. Some of them have a little sweetener, some of them don't. So it's
What's your favorite brand?
I don't really have a favorite brand. It's the one that's on sale, really.
Fair enough.
So like whatever's on sale, that's what I get.
To each their own, I guess. But
I don't know. He used to. How long have I known you? 4 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Probably like 4
5
years.
yeah.
Back in the day, it was LaCroix. Like only LaCroix. I only ever saw him with a LaCroix. Every single class period, every single day in his office, he's got him in his drawer with LaCroix.
I guess. I mean, everyone has something to kind of get them through each day.
Bubbly, there's a
And when you're feeling fancy.
Trader Joe's brand. If I go to Trader Joe's, I'll get Trader Joe's because they don't sell anything else, I don't think. So it's Trader Joe's. Anything else?
If it makes you happy, I guess, gets you through your day, you do your thing.
See, that's what helps me get me through the day.
Right.
Like the
Manage
sparkling water.
everything.
If I didn't drink it, who knows where I'd be.
Dehydrated and depressed, probably. Yeah.
Probably.
Alrighty, moving on to our fearless leader, Arwen, a nickname we gave her back in the conference that she has since lived up to. How do you ensure that you are being a fearless leader and not more of like a boss, like hard hitter?
Well, that was like a concern for me from the beginning. I never really wanted anybody to feel like I was more than them or better than them in any way, because we're all here for one goal, the same thing.
Right.
So for me, that was always something I brought up to Dr. T every time that we would meet. It was like, how do I make sure that I'm not being mean or harsh on people or making people feel like I'm forcing them into something or
Right.
expecting too much of anybody. But I kind of try to lay that out from the beginning, and I remind the team often that I'm not anything special. I'm the same as everybody else. It's just a role, and we all have roles. Like, I can't do what Sarah does. I mean, I could if I had to, but that's what she's here for, and she's amazing at her part. And the graphic designers, Angel and Tilapia, are amazing. Right. I definitely could not do what they do. So we all are a team, really. We're very strong together, and there's, everyone is needed. So I wouldn't say that I'm really anything special.
Yeah, so you're pretty much like main priorities as editor-in-chief is just managing people, right? Like overseeing the work and stuff. So is there any more like hidden priorities that come with being editor-in-chief?
Stress, nervousness, anxiety, but it's all healthy anxiety, healthy stress, and healthy nerves. But no, I mean, there's a lot to it, not like anything crazy, but I do oversee the team, check in with them, outside of meetings. I've been working with the graphic designers a lot outside of meetings since we're kind of on crunch time trying to get the pages together now. But then I also have meetings with Dr. T whenever we're concerned about something or I need guidance on what to do next or anything like that. He's always there to help me with that kind of stuff. And then I make the agendas for the meetings every week. So there's nothing like that I would say is a crazy hidden priority, just making sure that we're in line with our plans and are staying on track.
Yeah, I will say since joining Aeolus, I know you are editor-in-chief, and I do respect that obviously, but you are also a friend, I feel, to all of us. So you really do a good job of being that fearless leader and not that boss.
It makes me happy when you guys say stuff like that, because that's the goal. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm like
very humble.
Boss. I'm not boss baby.
Fair enough. What made you join Aeolus? How'd you find it?
Well, Dr. T was my professor years ago when I was dual enrolled.
That makes you sound like you're like 30.
No, I'm not that old, but he was my professor years ago, like 4 years ago. I had him for a few classes, I think 2 or 3 classes, and he was proud of my writing, and I kind of started writing with him. He kind of brought my love back for writing, because I loved to write in high school, and I kind of lost the love for it, but he pushed me to be a better writer. And then he asked me if I wanted to be the literature editor for volume 12, which was this one. So I did the literature editing for that, and then kind of fell off the map for a while. And then we had a meeting just to catch up, because I hadn't seen him in so long. And he said he was looking for an editor-in-chief, and I was like, let me think about it. And then I thought about it for a day, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I did it, and I love it, and I'm happy that I did it, because Dr. T is awesome, and he's been a very big part of my college experience. He's helped me a lot.
I feel like we're all happy that you did it. This semester has been really fun. I feel, for not to put words in anyone's mouth, but I know for me it's been one of my favorites. So my last and final hard-hitting question: why do you like that pumpkin mean so much? For those of you who don't know, yes. Every time she walks in the door, it's always pumpkin. Like every time.
I don't know. It's just like a vocal stem for me. Like I just like to say it.
It
just feels good.
You know what it feels like? It's kind of like this, like Marco Polo kind of. Because like you say pumpkin, we say it back, and it's like we know where everyone is all the time. You know.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Like it's a good roundup word if I'm looking for somebody and whatever. We said it a lot on our trip.
That we did.
We were saying it quite a lot. We even got Dr. T to say it, which was funny.
Text it too. It's in writing.
Yeah, it is in writing, so I'll never forget it. But no, it's just like I just like to say it. Like I don't know. It's like, you know how people have stress balls that they hold all the time?
Right.
That's like my stress ball. It's just pumpkin.
It's a good one, I will say. It could be a lot worse. It could be like drinking sparkling water. Yeah, it does. It does. Alrighty, moving on to Miss Sarah. Sarah has a very special place in this podcast. She's our executive producer, and she does her job very well, and we love her here.
We love you.
We love you. But Sarah is also the managing editor for Aeolus, which means you take the meeting minutes. What's something, because by taking meeting minutes, for those of you who don't know, it's literally translating the entire meeting onto a Word document to be sent out later, pretty much. You go over who's got homework, what we talked about, things that are now in motion. So by taking those meeting minutes, what's some stuff that you've observed in our meetings that work really well for us that you might want to pass on to different groups who might be seeing this?
I'd say that one thing I do appreciate is input. So it's like, it's not just, okay, this is what we're doing and it's set and it's final. It's like, how do you feel about this? Mm-hmm. That's what I like about Arwen and Dr. T, is that they'll say, hey guys, what do you guys think about this idea for a contents page? And then we'll kind of all just like stare at each other for a little bit. And then it'll be like, okay, Sarah, what do you think? And I'll give my honest opinion. And then they'll kind of go down the line. And that's what I like. I like inclusivity. Like I like inclusion. I don't like anybody feeling excluded. And I think that they make it feel like a mini family. And that's what I really appreciate. And I've also noticed that it's kind of helped us to come out of our shells. Like for me personally, I'm not a very talkative person. It's very hard to get me to come out of my shell. So that kind of dynamic in the meetings helps me to like come out and say what I want to say. And I've also noticed like Amanda will also come out and say stuff as well. So
we love Amanda.
It's very helpful.
You guys will see her later.
Yeah, shout out to Amanda. But yeah, it helps us to bring all our ideas together and do what we're here to do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, makes sense. So you want to go into broadcast production, which I feel like this podcast is kind of like a step in that direction for you. So what's one thing you wish you knew when you first started editing or producing, stuff like this?
I'd say I wish I knew the stress that kind of comes with it. It's not like a lot of like, it's not bad stress. Like she said, it's healthy stress. So it's like wanting everything to be right, making sure that you have the right mics, make sure you can't just get like any camera. You have to get a good camera. I grew up around parents who are into media and cameras and everything. So I've kind of like grown up with it. Right. But I do wish that I knew more of like how important it is to make sure everything is right.
The pressure that comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. So kind of because I know we work very well for this podcast together. Sarah handles the lights, the cameras, the action part of it. I handle the talking to people and the people coordinating part of it. What's some more of that like behind the scenes stuff, like the editing and stuff that you do for the podcast, and what is the hardest part for you?
I'd say the hardest part is fitting the vision for the podcast. I know that it's like there's a theme, but it's like it's making sure that every part of the podcast fits into that theme. I go on Pinterest. I look at the Pinterest board that Molly and Arwen have created. I look at the videos that she's given me. I kind of ask her every once in a while, I'm like, is this what you want, or is this kind of like something that you, like, it's not really what you're looking for? And so, yeah, it's more of just trying to fit the theme. Editing, it's kind of just, I don't know, it kind of just comes to me at the last minute. Like, it just, I'll be like, oh, this would be cool. And then the whole video changes within like 20 minutes because I decided to like change it up. And so I think seeing how the process of how the video can, I don't know, from start to finish is really cool. And then at the end you're like, wow, that took a long time, but it was worth it. Yeah. So yeah, that's more of the background stuff and everything.
Because I will say you are pretty much on point, because we have a Pinterest board made that we go over, we talk about it like fairly often. And the way you're able to take it from just like a cutout inspo pic on Pinterest into the actual real thing is incredibly impressive, and you do it very well. So I do appreciate you for that. I'm sure the viewers do as well. But what made you initially join Aeolus? How did you find us?
Okay, so I was in Dr. T's class, and Zach, the old editor-in-chief, he came in and did like a presentation on Aeolus. And I was like, this seems cool. I'll just take a magazine and, just flip through it. And then a few weeks later, Dr. T handed me this letter, and I was looking scared. I was like, oh no, like, what did I do?
Yeah.
And so the letter was basically explaining like that he saw how organized I was and wanted me to implement that into Aeolus. And I was like, I'll take that opportunity. And it also helped me to get out my shell and everything, but it also made me drive to Daytona. Like, that was the first time I ever drove to Daytona, was to come to the first meeting. And so it helped me to get out of that shell of like fear of driving and everything like that. So yeah, I just accepted the letter. I wasn't sure what I wanted, like what my place would be, but once he said managing editor, I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So it seemed pretty cool. And then yeah.
Well, speaking of your organization skills, how does it feel to be so type A? Because if I were that type A, I feel like I would be like a superhuman.
Sarah is a superhuman.
She really is.
I feel like I'm not as type A as I try to be. I think I'm more like AB.
That's a very type A thing to say.
I would be AB because I'm like, it's like if you give me something to do, I'll make sure it's organized, but it's like my own stuff, it's like, it's all over the place. Like, it's just like my room, all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like, if you give me an assignment, I'll make sure it's done right. Yeah. So it's like school, I don't play about. My room,
whatever.
So yeah, I would say I'm type AB. I just like to get things organized, and I think it's just the pressure, the good pressure of wanting to get it right. I think that's what I do. I put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure everything is done to the T that the person is expecting. So.
Right, yeah. Every Superman has kryptonite, Alrighty, now we're going to be transitioning to my favorite part of the podcast, the hot takes. What is your art hot take?
My hot take is to have a wonderful staff. You got to go deep, get the vibes. Everybody has to be cool. Otherwise, it's a train wreck. And I really mean that.
Vibes are important.
Yes.
Arwen?
My hot take is that there are so many forms of art that are overlooked, that people say are dying, or things that people don't do as often anymore. But I think everyone is an artist, even if they don't know it, because there's so many things that go outside of the box of like photography, painting, drawing, writing. There's way more than that. So if you think you can't do art, or you think you're not an artist, you probably are doing art every day and you don't know it.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
I like that.
Sarah, you thunk it?
Yeah. So my art hot take would be that you don't have to necessarily have a background in what you want to do. I don't think you have to grow up being a singer, grow up being an artist. You don't have to be a baby and draw stuff and be like, oh my gosh, that's like Pablo Picasso. You don't have to be that way. I think that you can grow in your art in your own way, and if it's your passion, you should go for it.
That's a good one too. Because I do feel like a lot of people kind of get discouraged because, people just grow up in it, but they don't realize that they're sitting there drawing for hours and hours to get good.
Right.
So, alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of Aeolus Unveiled. If you want to learn more about Aeolus, you can find our website, www.aeolusmagazine.com. You can learn more about our Artist of the Month or how to submit your art. Last day to submit is March 15th, so get on that soon. Our Instagram is going to be Aeolus Magazine. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!